Dr. Van-Ham is a Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of ToeFX Incorporated. She holds a PhD in pharmacology and completed postdoctorate research at the University of Ottawa. She has extensive experience in formulation development and toxicology, having held senior leadership positions at global pharmaceutical companies and the Ontario Ministry of Health. Dr. Van is dedicated to advancing innovative non-invasive treatments and diagnostics for onychomycosis. Her presentation will be focused, of course, on onychomycosis. She will give an overview of the condition and discuss the limitations of traditional treatment. She will also discuss the science of photodisinfection and provide a step-by-step protocol for achieving best treatment results. At this time, as we are moving into the presentation, I just ask that everyone would unmute themselves. We'll see how you make out with your videos on, but I will now welcome Dr. Ham and turn the meeting over to her.
Thanks, Ruth, for the introduction. Thanks, everybody, for keeping your video on. It's kind of nice. I don't feel that I'm talking to a screen. Nice evening to everybody. I'm going to share my screen. You are welcome to grab a glass of wine, a coffee, food. I'm fine with everything. So just a second. So as Ruth mentioned, today I'm going to tell you pretty much everything I know about onychomycosis, science, diagnostics, treatment options, and I'm going to focus about our recent study. It's very informative, lots of details. I'm hoping that you will find it interesting. We are going to save the questions to the end. Feel free to write them in the chat. I think it's possible for you, or you can ask me live at the end of the presentation. This is actually a part that I really like to have a discussion. So let's get into it. So the core of the presentation today is going to be a reflection of 3 years study that we did on light therapy for severe onychomycosis, and also some future application for wound care. And I would love us to, if possible, it's not related to onychomycosis, but to have maybe outside of this presentation, a discussion about wound care, because I would love to learn from you also. So I'm going to discuss nails appearance, not only onychomycosis, in very detailed our study, testing for onychomycosis and treatment options. So those are the main clinical formations of onychomycosis. So on the left-hand side, you see a distal lateral subungual onychomycosis. This happens often, and then it spread to the rest of the nail. Then you can see at the middle, total dystrophic onychomycosis. Often if you see that, more nails are involved, not only one. Here you see, which is more rare, proximal subungual onychomycosis, which means that the infection starts from the proximal edge. I think, and you can maybe also tell me, but I saw on our clinical study very few cases. And then superficial white onychomycosis, which is often easier to treat. So what's the challenges of treating severe onychomycosis? So most studies do not focus on severe infections. If you were to read a study, a paper, or anecdotal information, it's normally mild to moderate, normally mild onychomycosis. So often you are never going to see a total dystrophic nails in studies that test, for example, terbinafine or Jublia. Severe infections are challenging due to the nail thickness and difficulties in reaching infection underneath the nail plate. So it's really hard to get to the nail plate and also to the matrix. And there is some say that the matrix is involved, some say no, but anyways, all the way proximally, it's really hard for most drugs or other medical devices to reach the proximal edge. By the way, I just wanted to add that in onychomycosis or fungus infection, it's not systemic infection, it's just local infection. So fungus can be very tricky to diagnose. It sometimes look like onychomycosis, but it's not. The risk is that you don't treat the right modality, and sometimes if it's melanoma and you miss it, so it's really bad. If it's onycholysis, it's super sometimes confusing because it looks white because there is an air gap. So it's just that the nail does not adhere to the nail bed. And if with other condition, it might look also white and thicken, and it might be very confusing. So this is onychomycosis. It's typically one or more nails are involved. It's usually the gray toe. It's thickened and curved. It's caused because chronic pressure. And it's not onychomycosis, it's negative culture. Lichen, this is often how it looks like. It's thinning of the nail plate. The nail looks rough. You can see sometimes vertical grooves, but again, without proper diagnostics or just to make sure that it's not onychomycosis, it might be very confusing. Psoriasis, you can see some, but sometimes it's again very easy to miss. You can see nail pitting. You see sometimes onycholysis. You can see oil drop signs. You can see also other signs of psoriasis on other body parts, but sometimes it's an area that is overlooked and missed. This is a paranoia. Actually, we have a clinician I think in Ontario, but Redita knows that he sees many cases like that, and he wanted to try ToeFX with paronychia. It's often bacteria infection and not fungus. But chronic is usually fungal, so it depends. And it's caused by inflammation of the skin. And this is something new that we are looking into. So few clinicians in Canada and also globally use ToeFX for wound care. And it's working very well because it's probably destroying the biofilm. And also there is tons of literature about using photodynamic therapy for wound care. So this is one example. This is the wound, and this is after. It's not with ToeFX, but ToeFX technology is very similar. This is how it looks after a couple of treatments. So it's helping to destroy the biofilm, but also to heal and to help the wound to close. So after we on the same page that it's super important to diagnose for onychomycosis and to distinguish between that and other modality, I wanted to share some results of our newest study that I'm really proud to share, that we got accepted to a very prestigious journal. It's called the Journal of the American Podiatry Association. It's a journal of APMA. We got accepted in September, and it's going to be published in the March magazine journal. So those are the what's close up of severe onychomycosis. So it's aging population suffer more from severe onychomycosis. And the worse it is, the worse it gets. So it's not going anywhere. So what's causing a severe onychomycosis? It's normally decrease of blood circulation, weakened immune system, and slow nail growth as a result of normally it's old age. So those are the contributes factors to severe onychomycosis. So you probably know the worse it is, the worse it gets. Mainly because if it's getting very close to the proximal edge, nothing happens, and then sometimes the whole toe can be infected. So okay, so we know that we have onychomycosis. What are the treatment options? So I always like to divide it to four. So we have topical medications, oral medication, lasers, and then we have photodynamic therapy, which is ToeFX. So topicals, such as efinaconazole, the main problem with that, you remember that we said that the nail plate is very thick and it's very hard for chemicals to penetrate, especially the drugs, through the nail plate. With Jublia, for example, it's a very large molecule, and it does not penetrate the nail very well. Also, there is a huge problem with compliance. People need to apply it on if it's a severe chronic onychomycosis on all 5 toenails for over a year, so it's never going to go away. Terbinafine works, so the efficacy is much better, is close to 50%. The efficacy of Jublia is 15%. The problem with systemic medication is that some people do not like it because they heard about liver toxicity. Liver toxicity exists. It's not that it's for every patient, but it exists. And patients need to take blood work, so they don't want to take systemic medication, some of them. Also, some older people can't because of contraindication. So they cannot use Jublia or topical because the efficacy is low. The older people cannot reach the toenails. They cannot take oral medications. So another option is lasers. Lasers, the mode of action is thermal, so it's creating heat. And most of the lasers are pinpoint. So it's again with severe cases, it's very hard to eradicate the fungus because it's almost impossible to go on the nail plate and not to miss any spot. Also, if you would stay in one spot for too long, it's painful like hell because it's 55 Celsius. It's destroying normal cells, and the patient will hate you. So a good option is photodynamic therapy, which I'm going to explain to you the mode of action. So it's not thermal, it's reactive oxygen. It's basically oxidizing the fungus. I feel that I'm in a concert with all the beepings. It's kind of nice. So unique aspects of our study, we focused on severe cases such as this one, Sotosa dystrophic nail and dermatophthalma like this one. Most studies would exclude those one, especially those. So those because it's Tosa dystrophic, and those patches because it's signs of biofilm. So those patches, mainly that are closer to the proximal edge, are harder to treat. So the study that we did is the larger multiple sites LED-based light study conducted to date. So why do we recommend a light therapy for onychomycosis? So it's a summary for what I said. So some of them are seniors, they cannot take oral medication. They hesitant to add terbinafine because of contraindication. They're looking for non-toxic and safe treatment. And actually, in many clinicians are embracing the idea of combination therapy. So using, for example, light therapy such as ToeFX together with topical. So they do not rely on the patient to treat themselves at home, but it's just a supportive treatment. So they treat the patient in the clinic, and then the patients can do some homework, but they not rely on them solely. So we looked at 101 patients in 4 sites in Ontario and BC. We looked at 165 the big toenails, severe cases, 92% were severe cases. The average age is 62. I think that the oldest were 90. 80% of the patients had the infection for over 5 years. And diagnostic confirmed by a KOH culture and PCR that we have developed in-house. So we excluded diabetes patients, although many diabetic patients are getting treated with ToeFX. It's just that we couldn't allow ourselves to deal with complications of diabetes, but it's 100% perfect, and actually it's advisable to treat ToeFX for diabetic patients. So we did it in Hamilton, British Columbia, and Windsor. So the pre-treatment protocol is debridement. We actually, if you would to decide to use ToeFX, we have a really good learning module. And I'm sure most of you know, but there are very good techniques to debride the nail. It's required to thin the nail down, but also to use specific burrs to file down specific areas just to eliminate the fungal load and the keratin load. And then after debridement, there is application of topical light-sensitive formula with a strong affinity to fungal. So this is the formula. We actually have a patent on that. It's packaged in one-time disposable pen. So it's unique, it's tested, it's safe, and it's very authentic. So this is what's cool about it. So it's predominantly stick to the fungus, to the infection, even to the bacteria. So this is a confirmed case of onychomycosis, and this is 2 weeks later. So you can see that the blue stain predominantly the infection. So you can use it as a guidance to where to file down more. Those are a few cases before and after 6 months. So this is the before, this is after 6 months. The blue is just traces. it will wash away with time. So the success rate of our study was 73% clearance of the nail and close to 60% mycological cure, which is really good. So now I wanted to jump into the ToeFX protocol. So first, we recommend to collect nail for PCR testing. It's pretty simple. Eredita is here, she can explain, but basically you take a very small sample, a size of a grain rice. You mail it to us, and within 3 days of receiving, we'll send you the results, whether it's onychomycosis or no. It's super sensitive and specific. Then you take a photo. It's super important to take a photo before and after every treatment. It's just information, so you can always go back and see what happened, and it's really good to use it as a progress indication. Then you apply the ToeFX formula and illuminate the light, and suggest the patient post-treatment care. So this is a case that we saw in Ontario, in one of the First Nation people. All of his toes also, and the nails were severely infected. And this is how it looks after 5 treatments. I need to admit that they used it in combination with terbinafine because a doctor had to be involved because it was so severe. So he said that it will not be enough to prescribe oral, and he wanted to combine it with ToeFX, so it looked amazing. I think this patient is cured now. I wanted to show you how it looks, just to take the sample first.
First of all, we like to confirm the presence of a fungal infection with a lab test. Why is that? There's several conditions that can present as onychomycosis, including psoriasis, onycholysis, lichen planus, and even melanoma. All of these conditions can affect the color, texture, and overall health of the nail. For these conditions, administration of an antifungal is going to be ineffective and will lead to a very frustrated patient with lower satisfaction. We'll begin by taking a look at the nails and collecting samples. ToeFX's Dr. Toe PCR testing service offers advanced testing designed to swiftly and accurately identify the specific pathogens responsible for onychomycosis. All you have to do is follow 3 simple steps. Collect nail clippings or dust, and you start this by cleaning the nails with alcohol to ensure a sterile surface. We will need at least 0.1 grams of nail powder or clippings. Step 2, carefully transfer to the envelope. Step 3, send the envelope back to Dr. Toe.
So after you collect the sample, we will do analysis, and I wanted to explain how PCR works because I think it's pretty cool to understand. It's very different than culture. It's basically, you see, we look at the DNA level. So DNA are always 2 strands, and they kind of looks like a coil. So we open the coil And then for each side of the DNA, we have a primer, and it's like a Lego. So we replicate each side. So for 1, you're getting 2 from each side. So from 2, you're getting 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then it's and then I forgot my math, I think 32, but it's replicates, and then you get a lot. This is why it's super, super sensitive. And our rates, not ours only, like the negative rates of PCR are often very minimal. And also it's important to, the glue, the primer that distinguish the DNA, it's very important to design it for it to be very specific. So we did that. Also, it's super important to be able to extract the DNA from the keratin. The keratin is so hard, condensed, and it took us 1 year to develop an extraction system, because I need to admit that before it wasn't sensitive enough, but now we know how to get each and every DNA out of the nail plate, and we will find, if it's onychomycosis, we will find it. Also, it's sometimes important, I don't think in every cases, but mainly for physicians, they need to know which fungus they're dealing with, because, for example, if they want to give terbinafine, so it's working mainly for dermatophytes. It wouldn't work for yeasts, for example. In the case of ToeFX, it doesn't matter because a ToeFX killed them all. So okay, so you took a sample, you confirmed that it's onychomycosis. What do you do? So I believe in understanding the options and discussing it with the patient. So we went over that, but I put it here again. So again, you have a couple of options: topical, orals, lasers, ToeFX, and also an option to do nothing, which is not advisable, but it's really need to be at the patient's hand to decide. So about treatment option, why it's so difficult to treat? Few reasons. A, the keratin is the hardest protein that I'm aware of that exists in the world. And it's very hard to penetrate it. Actually, it's designed for us animals. We are to protect when before we stood on 2 feet. It's designed to protect us. So it's designed to protect the nail bed for infections. The reason that people getting onychomycosis is often because of trauma and compromised immune system, but it's not always, it's not trivial to penetrate that, and also it's not trivial for treatment to penetrate that. So this is why it's so hard to treat. Another reason is that the infection is, especially fungus, they are persistent like crazy. They are hide in the crevices, they talk to each other. So there is a community of fungus. They actually have messengers. They talk to each other. If the treatment, they actually also aware of treatments, and then they strive to go to the proximal edge to protect themselves. They create biofilm, which is another coat of membranes. So they exist more than us, like millions of years. So they are super persistent. They are here to stay. So for this reason, it's super important to find a treatment that really works. So ToeFX is a LED, it's not a laser technology that we have 2 devices. This is red LED, And the other one is dual wavelengths LED, and they both work together with a formula. It's a photosensitizer, and I'm going to describe the mode of action. So you need basically, in order to kill those persistent creatures, we tackled it from 3 perspectives: physical, biological, and chemical. So physical is a debridement of the nail, so you get rid of the keratin load and the fungal load. And biological and chemical is the light therapy and the formula working together. So you see you have a light, you have the photosensitizer, which is a blue formula, and you have oxygen. So oxygen is free. It's around the cells. So once you file down the nails, you apply the formula first, and it's a very small molecule. This is why it's really good in penetrating the nail plate. We also design it in a way that the surface tension, when you have a drop of water, it stays like a drop, but we made it in such a way that it's flat. So it penetrates really well the nail plate and adheres predominantly to the infection. It's going to stain, for example, the skin a bit, but not as hard as the infection. And once you shine the light, it creates those central area, which is reactive oxygen. So it's basically taking normal, readily available oxygen and convert it to reactive oxygen, and then it goes back. So this is how it looks like. You file down the nails, apply the formula, and then these readily available oxygen convert to reactive oxygen. So in other words, let's say that this is a fungus, and each fungus or bacteria or mold or yeast, it doesn't matter, have a membrane to protect them because they have liquids inside. So once you have this reactive oxygen, it's like a needle. It pinches a hole in the fungus wall and it bursts. And so then this reactive oxygen go back to be regular oxygen, and you need to create it again. So for this reason, the patient sit under the light for about 15 minutes. So again, it's nail debridement, applying of the serum, and exposing it to the light. By the way, it's called photodynamic therapy, and it's a very cool technology. It exists in other modalities, like it is cancer treatment, dentistry. So it's used a lot for root canal, where the canal is infected by bacteria. So they also use a blue formula and a light, and for other modalities. So basically, we took this science and made it work for onychomycosis. So I think it's pretty cool. So again, the efficacy is 73%, is 100% selective because the formula does not adhere to normal cells, only to the infection, and it requires not a lot of time. So the patient will sit under the light. So you can, depends if you have your own clinic or do home visits, you can do other things while the patients sit under the light.
ToeFX treatment consists of nail debridement. A ToeFX treatment consists of nail debridement, application of the clear toe serum, waiting for 15 minutes, and placing the foot under the light for another 15 minutes. The light automatically turns off, and clinicians do not have to sit with the patients while waiting for the serum to absorb or during the light treatment. The total time required is approximately 40 minutes. In fact, our patients see this as an opportunity for quiet time to do their work, listen to music, or read a book.
Also, the protocol is about, for severe cases, about 10 sessions bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. I have here a slide, a video that will show you how how it looks in the clinic. We might have here one of the lights, but it doesn't matter. It's a very similar protocol. So it's one light or the other. One light requires shorter exposure time, but the mode of action is the same.
North America alone, some 50 million people have toenail fungus right now, and we want to change that. We have a vision to create the world's standard of care for the treatment of toenail fungus. As scientists, we at ToeFX are passionate about developing technology that really works. We tested our technology using in vitro and ex vivo methods. We created the Clear Toe photodynamic therapy to clear up the appearance of yellow, crumbling nails in 4 to 10 treatments. The Clear Toe Light by ToeFX has completed clinical trials. There are no drugs, no lasers, and no side effects to this light-based treatment.
Let's walk you through the key steps involved in the ToeFX treatment. Step 1, client assessment and diagnostics. The first step is to bring the client in for a thorough diagnostic process. This includes both visual and lab diagnostics. Once we receive the lab results confirming the presence of onychomycosis, we'll proceed with further steps. Step 2, photographing the nails. Next, we'll have the client sit comfortably and take detailed photos of their nails. It's essential to get the camera very close to the nails for a clear, high-resolution image. Proper lighting is crucial here, so I recommend using additional lighting to ensure the photos are sharp and well lit. Zooming in is important to capture the details clearly. Step 3, debriding the nails. Once we have the photos, we'll move on to the debridement. The patient will sit back in the chair and we will use the appropriate burrs to debride the affected nails. This step is important for removing any debris and allowing the treatment to penetrate effectively. Step 4, applying the serum. After debridement, the patient will keep their feet flat on the floor and will apply the serum to all of their nails. This requires about 3 generous coats to ensure thorough coverage. Once applied, the patient will sit quietly for 5 minutes, allowing the serum to be absorbed. Be sure.
You can see here very nicely, you see this nail is not infected, so it's light blue. This side is infected and also this toenail. So you see, because there is a high affinity between the formula and the infection, so it stains the infection really dark because there are more molecules of adhering to the infection, so it's pretty cool.
To set a timer for accuracy. Step 5, ToeFX therapy light activation. Finally, after the 5-minute waiting period, we'll activate the ToeFX therapy light. The light will then work for 12 minutes, helping to complete the treatment process.
Again, it might vary between one device to the other, but the steps are the same. This is a typical treatment course. So this is a confirmed case of onychomycosis. T is for the treatment and the number is for the treatment number. So this is only after one treatment only. You can how the matrix is protected, how in this case, the debridement was very extensive because the nail was detached. But you can see how the formula marks down the infection area really nicely. Also here at T6, the corners are still infected, so they are still blue. And here it's a T10 after 5 months, so it's a treatment every 2 weeks. You can see how new nail came in. This is another case study for one of our clinicians. So he decided not to remove the nail on the first treatment, and he applied the formula through an opening that he found here. And this is how it looks after 4 months. So you can see clearly new nail coming in. Those are, again, a few before and afters. So this is a male, 45 years old. This is after 5 treatments. So often after 4 to 6 treatments, you can see a progress. And this is after 10 treatments, so 5 months. And here we finish the treatment and we switch to maintenance just to avoid relapse. So you see how it looks after 1 year, and the culture and the KOH were negative, so it was cured. Again, this is another case, female, 71 years old, and this is a male, more severe case, 57 years old. And I have many cases here, other cases. And I'm going to stop now because I see that we have many questions, and I would love to have a discussion. You can see here my contact information and also my personal cell phone number. Feel free to text me anytime until 11 a.m. I'm normally very responsive. Any questions that you might have, feel free to text me. We also have a WhatsApp group that I encourage you to join. It's active. I would love it to be more active because I would love you guys to share cases not related even to ToeFX and to talk to each other. We are happy to host it. Maybe Redita, if you have the link, maybe you can share that. And also we have a Facebook clinical forum group where you are welcome to join. Ruth, should I take the questions or?
Sure, I am sorry. I was waiting for Hadita, so I just thought she was going to speak. I have 2 or 3 questions here. And the first question is the PCR test covered by OHIP?
No, it's not covered by OHIP. No, it's a cash, but it's pretty cost effective. You can reach out to us and ask about the cost.
Perfect. Okay. And the other question is, when debriding the nails, would you clip out any areas of lysis and heavy debris?
Sure, you can clip. Yeah, it's any technique that you would like to use. It's based on your preferences. Yes, it's possible.
Question, I imagine there are great improvement as demonstrated by your photos. Can you address reinfection rates and what is your maintenance therapy?
Sure. So the reinfection rates, according to the literature, is often 50 to 80%. Even with terbinafine, when the maintenance that we offer is using ToeFX, so same approach, same protocol, but not every 2 weeks, but every 6 weeks. So you do the course of the treatment bi-weekly for 10 sessions, and then mainly with severe cases, it's not going to be fully cleared after 5 months. Often it takes 12 months, so you see the patient every 6 weeks until it's fully cleared. And we did a study when we offered the maintenance to the patient, the reoccurrence rate reduced to less than 20%.
And another question is, what does the oil drop sign mean when you mention it with regards to nail psoriasis?
It just accumulation because of the psoriasis. It often appears like oil drops on the nail.
Okay. And there's just a question with regards to cost of a treatment. Yeah. How much does a treatment cost the client?
It depends. An average is between average is 120. It's between 80 to 150 per session. I always recommend to charge for a package because we feel that the compliance is better. So patients are more committed. It's like membership to the gym. So I really like the to ask for a package.
Okay. And another question, do you have any thoughts about, and I'm struggling with pronunciation, so if the person who asked the question, it's tonactate?
Yeah, tonactate. It's used. It's okay. It's not for every infection. I think it's working better for dermatophytes. So it's really important to use that just to know which infection you have. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Also, again, it has the problem with penetration through the nail plate, but as a supportive to other treatments, it could be a good option.
Good. Okay. And a question, can tea tree oil be effective?
No.
Okay.
And
And
just oils. So the keratin, the protein of the nail is keratin, and it has pores, like small holes between the molecules of the protein. It's designed to absorb water. This is, for example, why you have urea dissolved in water just to destroy the keratin, but oil does not penetrate through the nail plate. And also tea tree oil is harsh. It often causes inflammation of the skin, and it doesn't help to kill the fungus. As we said, it's super, super persistent. I hope it would, but it also doesn't penetrate the membrane of the fungus. So yes, maybe it's a very mild superficial infection. It might help.
okay, thank you. And does ToeFX treatment require a doctor's order?
No, it does not. It's not by prescription. It's a medical device, and it's need to be used by a trained clinician, and it doesn't need a doctor's order. No.
Okay. And then there's a question, is there any maintenance that's required from the patient in between treatments?
Yes. The normal things, right? First of all, to disinfect the shoes properly. Spraying normally does not work. There is UV light, maybe inserts. We are working to develop something with ozone to destroy the fungus. Also to wash the socks in high temperature, 55 Celsius. To disinfect the areas, not to share tools, and to use topicals between the treatments. It wouldn't hurt. And also another something that might help is to take biotin. So biotin is a supplement that helps encourage of keratin growth. So it will really help the nail to grow faster, and by that to help with the appearance of the nail, so they will get faster results.
Okay. Herdita is just saying too, if the group link is not working for you, feel free to text me in WhatsApp. And if you have something to write the telephone number at 289-816-3818. And I'll repeat that number, 289-816-3818. Another question, do you accept private insurance? And maybe I'll add to that question, is there any private insurance that may cover this?
I think that some of the private insurances, maybe Ruth, you know, but maybe private insurances covers food care for nurses, such as Blue Cross and others. So I think this is a good way to charge through the insurance. Maybe Ruth, you have, I don't know, more info. You have more experience. Yeah, you have maybe more information to share about that, and maybe
I wonder if maybe we could open that to the audience at large right now. Does anyone have any ideas of which particular, I know Green Shield, I think, is one. In some age, there are conditions for the coverage of foot care, whether it would have to be in a at home. I don't think it can be in a clinic setting. I just wonder if anyone has anything to add to that. Blue Cross for veterans.
Manulife too. Manulife.
Okay. Someone trying to answer? I'm just unsure.
Yes, it's me. My insurance will cover Manulife.
Manulife,
Yes.
thank
I
you.
have $1,000.
Wow, that's very generous, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Normally it's 500, I thought.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I have question for the biotin though.
Biotin, yes.
Will 10,000 units a day enough? Or this is too much?
I really cannot answer to that. I don't know. I think it's okay. But I'm a toxicologist. I don't know what's the recommended dose.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
another thing, like I work in a facility where I noticed that we have lots of patients who have this kind of concerns. I will discuss this with my manager, and then if my patients are okay, where should we send them?
For treatment?
Yeah. Do we have to buy the machine?
Correct, yes.
Oh, how much is the machine?
I would like to answer this question. So this session is completely educational. So I can give you the idea about the pricing. Please feel free to reach out to us after the session.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Another question with regards to what kind of burr should we use for debriding? Or is there anything specifically recommended?
So yes, for the ToeFX, for example, we put together 3 burrs that we really like. It's carbide. The first one, and if you shoot me a quick email, I can send you the description of the burrs. One is coarse, and the other one that I love, it's the ball burr. It's super small with teeth on it, and it's super nice to to reach like corners and tight areas and to open crevices and channels on the nail just to allow better penetration of the formula. And it's really easy with the ball burr to get rid of most of the fungal load, especially with those patches. It's wonderful. So if you have this small burr, and for example, you have lateral subungual onychomycosis, so you can easily treat only the corner and keeping the rest of the nail intact. So, but I can send you the pictures and description of the burrs that I prefer, but you know, it's your personal preferences on which style of burrs that you like. I normally do not like the one-time disposable burrs because they are not strong enough. So I like the multiple uses burrs and that you need to autoclave them between treatments.
Okay. Another question with regards to First Nations benefits. Wondering if the treatment could be covered by their benefits. Does anyone know?
Yes, it covers.
It covers. Oh, fabulous.
Yes. Yeah, with those communities, so it's covers. They don't need to pay.
Excellent. Okay. And is there a separate cost that could be attached to just sending the sample? It doesn't, so the question is, what is the cost of sending in a sample? Could that be covered by OHIP? So it's diagnostics as opposed to treatment.
Right. It does not cover by OHIP. And there is a cost, and I guess, Renita, you want to send to share it or later if people approach you?
So I will just say that how does it work? So when you purchase the PCR test from us, we will ship you the sample collection envelope and the return envelopes. So we sell in a bundle, I mean a pack of 10. You will be buying 10 tests from us, and you can use those return envelopes to send us the samples to our lab. And when we receive the samples, since that time to within 3 to 4 business days, we will send you the report in your email. And the PCR, it's right now on our introductory price. I can definitely share with you the pricing. Please feel free to reach out to us later after this session.
Good. And another question, are there any contraindications to who can receive LED light therapy?
No, there is no contraindication, no age restrictions. I just always think that with pregnant women and breastfeeding is just a good idea to hold off the treatment as they do with other treatment. It's not that there are evidences that it can harm anything, but it's advisable to do that, in my opinion.
Right.
Actually, we applied, so ToeFX were applied the formula in 40,000 sessions globally, and we didn't get any side effects, and also from our clinical study. So it's super safe because it's local. So it doesn't reach the bloodstream.
Okay. And there is a common question. So one of our attendees is attending from Curacao, and I struggled with her internet. So I was just wondering if it would be possible to send some information to her.
Sure.
Hi, baby. It's bedtime. Bedtime, girls.
Sorry?
I think she was saying bedtime. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So just with regard to the attendee from Curacao. I imagine there could be information sent if we have contact. Yeah, so I'm just
How are you?
I'm going to
Yes,
mention
yes.
the name. Oh, Rachel.
Yes, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. Nice to see you. Yeah. Yeah, I would love if I connect you with Harita and she can, is that okay, Harita?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Okay.
So, sorry for my ignorance. Where is Curacao?
That's in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Sister island to Aruba.
Oh, I've been to Aruba, but not there. I forgot that. Yes, okay. I'm so jealous of you. I will add it to my bucket list.
It's worth visiting. It's a beautiful, beautiful island. Yeah.
Oh, have you been?
Yes, yes. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's nice to have you on board. Okay, so Georgina is saying, I'm just saying the name. Thank you, Ruth. This was very, very insightful meeting. Hope you have a good time and thank you once again. And will the presentation be available online after? Irit, can we make it available? I'm just,
Sure, but it's recorded, right?
yes.
Sure, I can send you, Ruth, if it's okay, a PDF copy, and maybe you can send it to the attendees. So yes, it's not a problem at our end.
Thank you. Okay, so we can do that. All right.
Is the ToeFX the same as other fungal nail therapy? Kirill, can you maybe open your mic and explain what is that you mean? It's very different than lasers. The mode of action is very different. Is creating, oxidizing, creating reactive oxygen and not thermal. There is no therapy like ToeFX exists in North America. So we are the only one.
Good evening. I saw in the Amazon what's this? Fungal light therapy. I just wonder if it has the same effect or
There are
not.
few light therapies on Amazon and others. It's not a red light. It's probably a blue or something else. Often it's a clipping to use one nail, so it doesn't do much. The magic with ToeFX is that we use a red light in combination with the formula. So the red light penetrates 6 millimeters through the nail plate into the nail bed. It's a lot, 6 millimeters. Other wavelengths, blue, for example, does not penetrate a lot. And also the formula penetrates very well. So we tackle the infection from all directions, but light therapy alone does not work so well. You're welcome.
All right. Well, I would like to thank Dr. Van-Ham for a very, very informative presentation this evening. As you can see from the questions, there's a lot of interest in it. I really enjoyed you going through the step-by-step process. And I think it sort of broke it down for many of the nurses who have not heard of it before, and even for those that have heard of it, to just make it a little clearer for them. So we certainly will be in touch. I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Van-Ham, and for everyone for attending this evening. It was a lovely turnout, and I think we have a lot to take away from this presentation. All right, so all the best. Have a great evening, and we look forward to connecting soon.
My pleasure. Have a good night. Thanks, Ruth, for having us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.